Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault 2, and I want to make a video about comments. Not just the mean comments of the week, because I've had some great comments this week that I want to reply to, but in this format of talking to you guys instead of just typing them out, because I want more people to see this than just the people that made those comments. Because I actually got some questions regarding people having issues commenting, not just on my channel, but other channels, and I want to share with you what I know or what I think is going on. So let's address that first. I've gotten 2 or 3 people, I would say in the past week, that are normal commenters on my channels, whether that be the main channel or the Texas Gun Vault 2 here. They will tell me that they'll post a comment and then YouTube deletes them. And some of them ask me, did I delete their comment? And the answer is no, I didn't delete their comment. Because I will only delete a comment if it is mean or ignorant or stupid, but these people I recognize. And for the most part, they never say anything mean or ignorant or stupid at all. But I have discovered that YouTube's, I don't know if it's an AI filter or whatever, it will remove certain comments if it thinks you're talking about certain subjects. And it just doesn't have to be about guns. But if it feels like you're trying to sell a firearm, for example, it will flag it and remove it. It won't even give me the option of approving it or not, or being able to review it. It's just gone. Sometimes there might be keywords, and it doesn't make any sense. I don't even see them as comments. They don't even register on my side when it comes to the Creator Studio. I don't see it. And that's just up to YouTube. I don't have any control over that, and I don't know what words or phrases trigger those things. So if you have commented on the Texas Gun Vault or the Texas Gun Vault 2, and I don't reply to your comment, it means I didn't see it. And even some comments that do get posted, it doesn't show up on my creator side. If you're not a YouTube content creator, you don't know that both on the website and through an app, I can just see in chronological order every comment that's on my channel that's made on any video that I have not responded to. And I do my very best that if you make a comment, I'll usually heart it or respond to it in some way to let you know that I saw it. And I try to be as interactive with the people that want to have a dialogue with me as possible. And I go through a lot of comments every single week. But there's a few people that have said they've they've commented, and then I don't say anything. Then they go check and the comments removed. And I'm like, I did not do that. That is YouTube. So I don't have any insight into that, but I want to let you know that if you comment and either I don't see it for some reason, YouTube might have removed it. It's not me. You just got to go back and phrase things a different way. I think my friend Craig has had that issue. He'll say something and then I'll see his second comment. He's like, YouTube removed my first comment, and he'll like rephrase whatever it is a different way. I don't know what it is. It's just YouTube's AI assuming you're doing something naughty and bad. I don't know. So that's issue number 1 with comments. Number 2, I wanted to respond to a very nice comment I had on my video yesterday where I talked about my perspective as a parent, a teacher, and a gun owner on how we can prevent school shootings in the future. And somebody had an idea that I know they're very passionate about, and I think it's a good idea, and I totally see the relevance in it. They said, I think I'm going to paraphrase here. I don't have the exact comment. It was like, this is why you should homeschool your kids. Or it was something to that effect, okay? And I know that that's something that is really on the minds of many people that are in conservative circles, libertarian circles, and the like. And as somebody that works in public schools, I don't defend public schools because I see a lot of waste, fraud, abuse, BS, nonsense, the whole gamut of things that I would want to avoid with my kids, right? But I can also tell you as a teacher, I have taught kids in public school, private school, and that are homeschooled. And because as a music teacher, I get to work with a wide variety of kids. And I just wanted to respond to this in this format because I think it is a great addendum to my video yesterday. And homeschooling your kids, and this is from my perspective as a teacher, is not always the best solution. And to give you a very quick story, I have worked for private schools and homeschoolers in the past. And what I have seen is, for the most part, not always, the kids that are in private school, especially the like elite, like Christian private schools, and the kids that are homeschooled are not socially adjusted and do not necessarily do better or even on par with kids that go to public school. And as I said, I will never use a name or anything, but I have had multiple students that go to a local private school that it's kind of like a half homeschool, half private school situation. And they're great kids, great families. I can just tell, even though I never talk politics, I can tell that they're very conservative, very Christian, and these parents do their very best to protect their children from anything. And I'm talking about like students that are 17, 18 years old, about to graduate high school, that have never seen an R-rated movie. Okay? Like, that is how protected they are. They would never curse. They go, all these, everything you can imagine that you would think, man, they live in a box. Well, they do, right? They are the model. You look at them from the outside and you go, wow, they are a model family, kids, all that kind of stuff. And I have had multiple students from this situation go off to great schools. Like, one went to, was it Yale or Harvard? Another one went to Penn State. And I'm trying to think where the third one went. Maybe it wasn't like an elite Ivy League school. It was a pretty good school, like UT in Austin, okay? A big school here in Texas. And these kids, straight A students, you talk about, they're on the football team, they play in the band, they do everything you can imagine. Church and Sunday school on every Sunday, awesome. And they go to these places, and then I'll ask, and sometimes I'll I'm Facebook friends with the parents, or maybe I'll kind of check in after a year or so. Hey, how's so-and-so doing? Was their first year in college good? What are they up to? I just want to hear about their successes. And I've had these three students that I'm thinking about. The parents would respond and go, oh, my child, they dropped out of school. They're living at home now. Because what happens is they go to these places and they're surrounded by, essentially sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Okay? They have never been exposed to the real world. Now, I'm not saying that they should participate in anything bad when they're, kids, but when you don't let kids be kids and do, I don't say naughty things, but like, get into a little bit of trouble, nothing bad. I'm just saying, or, sneak into an R-rated movie or anything like that, or not be exposed to what the real world is like. They are not adjusted because the real world hits them like a ton of bricks. And here you have a straight A student that is one of the top in their class that would, on paper, be far above and beyond many public school students, fail out of college and go home and not know what to do because they got there and they were surrounded by people that thought differently than them, drank, smoked pot, partied. They had never been exposed to that before. And it just messed up their mind because they had no acclimation to the real world. So I just wanted to say that the private school or the homeschool option doesn't always mean you're protecting your kids from all the evil of the world. I believe in a balanced approach that you want to guide your students, because I think if parents are involved in a child's life in a very positive way and teaching them morals, ethics, but also how the real world is, they're going to be well adjusted. And if we had more parents like that, we wouldn't have these mass shootings that happen in schools. And that's a way that we can prevent it, just from parents being involved in their kids' life. All right, so one more thing before we get to the mean comments of the week. And this is also a discussion I want to know if any of the other content creators that follow my channel have witnessed. I would like to know. I have noticed in the past few weeks, I get these very odd and cryptic comments, but they're not malicious or anything. I think that they are bots. I used to get bots on the channel that were usually like advertisements. They'd be like, hey, check out this video website, or it'd be something like, like a pornographic website with a link trying to get people to click on it, or they're trying to sell something or whatever, right? And I finally put a filter on my channel that if anybody puts a link to anything, I have to review it. Like whether that be another YouTube channel or video or a link outside of YouTube, I have to approve it. And that caught a lot of the bots. And then YouTube did a really good job of catching them and stopping them quickly, because it used to be all over the place and now they've gone away. But I'm starting to get these really weird comments that don't mean anything. They're not mean, they're not advertising anything, they're just weird. And so I wanted to share one with you and see if any of the other content creators are seeing this. So on my comparing the B&T APC to the GHM, what are the differences? I have this person or bot that says Mick McDonald LNA says 609 Dickens Common. And this is very similar to what I've seen on other videos when I get these weird things. It will be like a series of numbers and two words that have nothing to do with the video or together. It's almost like it's some type of code. And I don't know what this is. I just delete them and I block the people or the bots or whatever it is. And I'm not really sure what the underlying thing is. When it comes to bots, typically they have some type of intention behind them. They're trying to get people to click on things. There's no links here. I don't know. So I don't know what's going on. This is just something I'm noticing. It's different names all the time, saying weird cryptic things like that. And usually it's in a format like this, 2 words and some numbers, and that's it. And it doesn't relate to the video. It's not mean. It's not a reply. I don't know, but I'm 100% sure it's a bot. So what do you guys know about that? What do you think they are? All right, so now let's get to the mean comments of the week. And I have quite a few of them. And so I wanted to share these with you. A few of them have kind of a theme that obviously the people do not like me and definitely do not like my presentation style. So let's start with the range report on the Noveske Infidel Gen 4 rifle. Wayne Hadjic 839 says, would you just get to the review and stop blowing hot air? Well, I'm going to make the videos the way that I want to make the videos. I like the way that I structure them. I like long-form content. And I just got to remind people that if you don't like what I do, you have a few options. You can skip ahead, right? You can take that little mouse or your finger if you're on your phone, go to the little bar where, the video is playing. You click on that, you move it to wherever you want to, and let your finger go or pick up the button on the mouse. And watch from that point. You can skip through all the ads, or what I recommend to a lot of these people, because I want them to be mentally happy, mentally healthy. There's a little X in the top of the window. And you can go up there and you can click that X and my face and my voice go away. And you never have to watch my content again. And anytime you see a Texas Gun Vault video, you just click away, you ignore it. And I think even if it shows up in your feed, there's a way of like pushing a button that says, do not recommend this anymore. And I will go away forever. So I just want to let you guys know that if you don't like me, the way that I make videos, because by the way, I like the way I make videos and I'm going to continue doing it that way. You don't have to like it, but you are free to not watch. But I wanted to give you that in case you wanted to kind of move on from me and never see my ugly mug again. All right, then we have something in the same vein. Unboxing and range report on the Lone Wolf LTD-19, the Glock 19 clone. And Red Click by Che says, word of advice, get to the fucking point. Well, no, I'm going to make the videos the way I want to make them. And just like I talked about when it came to Paul Harrell recently, who passed away, and how I found one of his rebuttal videos that I thought was amazing from years ago. And how he talked about all the things that he puts into the videos and why he's long-winded. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the same reason that I make videos the way that I do. Because there are so many people out there that have so few brain cells that they can't comprehend what I'm saying or understand bigger points, I have to explain every little detail. I have to give a caveat. Whatever it is. Like I would say, for example, this is kind of a paraphrasing of what Paul Harrell was saying about revolvers. Let's just say I have a Glock 19, okay? And I'm reviewing the Glock 19, and I say it comes with a 15-round magazine. I will also have to mention, yes, I know that in states where it's not legal to have a magazine of more than 10 rounds, Glock makes a 10-round magazine. And yes, you can put a 17-round magazine in this gun from a Glock 17. And Glock also makes a 33-round magazine that I guess was for the original G18 machine pistol that will work in this gun as well. And there are aftermarket companies that make drum mags for these things. If I don't say that, I get these people that think, oh, I'm going to show how smart I am. You're an idiot. Glock makes 17-round mags for that gun too. It's like, oh my God, I know. So I have to give all these different caveats. Otherwise, the ignorance and the stupidity abounds. And that's it. All right, so he doesn't like me. All these people get banned, by the way. But I don't respond to them. But the advice that I gave you for the last comment applies to this one. If you don't like me, move on. Don't watch something that's going to make you mad and want to post a mean comment. All right. Let's see here. One more. Once again, in the same vein. Well, kind of in the same vein. Oh, and this guy looks like a real winner here because we get to see his picture. On the range report of the Smith & Wesson M&P 9 Shield Plus, Rick R69 says something about how this guy talks until he runs out of air and then mostly sucks the air in. That is called breathing. You know, a lot of people don't know that. In fact, I have to know a lot about breathing for my career as a professional trombone player. I have to teach breathing. I know. It's kind of weird. And it's just the way that I talk. And one of the things that I struggle with that people don't know, and you guys have probably seen it in some of my videos, especially here, I am a stutterer. I'm a stutterer. And my brain will get ahead of my mouth. And I will say things weirdly. I will stutter. I also will occasionally swallow a lot of air when I talk, you know, and that's one of the reasons why sometimes I'll have like a little bit of a smacking sound when I talk. I'll kind of burp like that. I just get this air in my esophagus, and a lot of times it's because the way that I talk, and I'm saying so much without breathing, I kind of like suck air in, and I have to overcome that, and I'm very aware of that. And I try to do my best. But yeah, I am a stutterer, and I make no apologies for it. I don't think it's a disability. Normally, it's not really a big deal. But that is why I do that. And instead of making what could have been a great comment about any thoughts I had on that gun, Rick R. Just wanted to make fun of who I am, and that's something that I cannot control. So some people feel that, I guess, they're better by making fun of other people. Now, am I hurt? Absolutely not. I've been a stutterer my whole life. I've been made fun of. It don't bother me at all. Because you know why? I love who I am. And I got kind of a big ego in some ways. Okay? I mean, okay, some aspects of my life, I kind of think like I'm a big deal. In fact, I got a little sign here that my wife bought me. And it's up here on some of my amateur radio equipment. And sometimes you can see it in the video. I'm kind of a big deal. Yeah, I actually think that in some ways. But anyway. Ugh. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Another very enlightening comment. And this is one where I get a lot of weird comments on. It's my CRS Firearms Poke the Bear. Matthew Hoover is not 100% innocent. Kryptonite 357 says, and he gives a timestamp, 7/27, you're wrong, and your breath smells like shoe polish. Okay? My breath smells like shoe polish. Well, I don't know how he can smell that through YouTube. Maybe we have smell-o-vision now. I don't know. But there you go. It's okay to say that I am wrong, okay? I have no problem with that. Just tell me why I'm wrong and let's have a discussion. But then if you just belittle me And granted, that's not really like, a mean comment from like a, cursing standpoint. It's just silly and stupid. But anyway, he gets banned. Why people can't have a good conversation, I have no idea. Because we can have a dialogue. It is okay if you vehemently disagree with me. Like everything I say about a gun or a political topic you don't like. I have personal friends in my life that are very different than me and feel very differently about a wide range of topics, wide variety of topics. And I'm still friends with them. Now, I might not be the best of friends. I might not sit and have dinner with them all the time, but I can have a nice conversation with them because they show me respect. I like to think I show them respect. And in some ways, we can kind of, not joke, but like, say, oh yeah, I know what you're thinking about this, and you're like, yeah. And that's it. We go about our days and we can coexist. And some people just cannot do that. All right. Let's see here. Man, I got a lot of them. Okay. Let's go to another one that's kind of short. All right. Now, this one I've been getting a lot of hateful comments on. And it is the range report on the Diamondback DB15. And I say, sometimes you get what you pay for. Joe Blow, XY3OZ, says, bullshit. Only people that doesn't like it. Well, first off, great grammar there, and you're supposed to use an apostrophe when it comes to a contraction. Only people that doesn't like it are the gun shop owners because it's cheaper priced. Read all the reviews by consumers, people. They love it. Don't trust this dude anymore. Well, he doesn't end with a period, and I guess I am now a dude, which is pretty cool. Okay, so you can call me the dude. Okay. Let's talk about this. I know for a fact that when it comes to gun shops, okay, the margins on pretty much every gun is very small. And in fact, many times they make more money on the cheap guns than they do the expensive guns, right? Because an expensive gun, let's just say they have to get it in, let's say their cost is, I don't know, $3,000, okay? And they're going to list it for, well, let's just say $3,400, okay? That's enough. You have to think, they bought that gun. It has to sit in their store in inventory. They have to advertise for it, okay? But then most likely, the gun shop down the street or somebody online or whatever is going to post that same exact gun for $3,200. Some guy's going to come in the shop and go, I can get this for $3,200. Can you beat it? And you're thinking to yourself, well, I'll sell it to you for, $3,175 because you make $175 on it, right? You move product and you make money, a little bit of money, and that's the way it goes. But on these lower guns, usually they don't have that type of flexibility. You just come in and everybody has a set price. Like if you go to the online auction sites and look at the general prices of your run-of-the-mill, mass-produced guns, they're all the same price, right? You don't really get any good deals. The only deal you're going to get is either on shipping or you'll get a deal on like, oh, it's literally $3 less. Like one place will have it for $700 and one place will have it for $688. Oh, sorry, not $688, $698. That's the biggest difference. And it's not price fixing. It's just because their margins are so small. And I know when I made that video that there were a lot of people that liked that gun. And I can tell you why people like that gun. It's not because the gun necessarily performs well for them. It's because it's all they could afford and they want to feel like they have bought something that's really high quality and like they got something that's like a Daniel Defense, a Knight's Armament, or LMT quality for $600. Okay? And I don't blame them. Now, I know that I have been there. Okay? My very first gun purchase that I, ever did with my own money at a gun shop was a Glock 17 Gen 3. Okay? And I saved up for a long time for that gun. And it was a big deal when I bought it. And that gun was what? I don't know, 500 something bucks, okay? That was a big deal. I couldn't believe I just dropped that much money on a gun. Okay, that was a big deal. I was so freaking proud of myself, right? And I'm going out, I'm telling people, hey, I got this. I just got my concealed carry license, even though the Glock 17 isn't a great carry gun. But I wanted it for kind of, home defense, essentially. And I was really, really proud of that gun. Very, very proud of that gun. And I remember going out and watching videos. What does Hickok 45 say about the Glock 17? What does this person say about the Glock 17? And you might come across somebody that goes, the Glock 17 is not as good as this other one. And then you start going, what? But I just spent all this money on that. But it's got to be the best. It's what I can... That person's wrong. Look at all these other reviews. The Glock 17 is the most amazing gun ever. People do this all the time. Anytime I review an affordable gun, if I say anything negative, even if it's like 95% positive and 5% negative, man, do they get on my case. And they tell me I'm a shill for another company or whatever. You don't know what you're talking about. I understand their perspective. I do. Because I was there once. I really was. But sometimes people just don't understand. In fact, I brought out, because I'm out here, because you guys know I'm in the watches now, and I want to give an example about what he's talking about. So I have two watches out here I wanted to do, I guess, as I said, examples with. I have my Omega Speedmaster. This is the Hesselite version. This is the one with the full case back. That was, I guess, approved for spaceflight by NASA. This is about a $6,000 watch right here. I guess $6,500 is about the new retail price on this if you buy it from an Omega authorized dealer, okay? That's what this watch is, okay? And then the other watch is a watch that I got literally a couple days ago in the mail because I had it special made for me. And this is a $200 watch, okay? And I wanted it because I like to have automatic GMT watches for me to wear every day to work where I'm not wearing a $6,000 or $10,000 watch. I have a Rolex, I have a Tudor, I have the Omega, okay? I don't want to wear those to work and wear them every single day, but I want to have other nice watches that I like to personally wear and look at that are not that expensive. If they get beat up, if they get, whatever. I know exactly what they are. So this is one. It's a Seiko mod, or it's a mod of a Seiko GMT that I had made that kind of looks like a Rolex GMT with the Bruce Wayne colorway. So we have the black on the top and the gray on the bottom of the bezel, okay? And this is just like a basic Seiko NH34 movement in this. And this watch with the Jubilee band is literally $200, okay? And there's a guy that makes these Seiko mod watches that I bought a couple from, and he does a really good job, okay? Sapphire, crystal, everything. But when I buy this, I like it. And I'm proud to wear this and own it, and I enjoy this watch, okay? In fact, I have all the tools out here to adjust the band. I literally just got it. I love it. I love it. I like it. Is it as cool as the Omega Speedmaster? No. But I, in no way, when I wear this watch, do I look at it and go, man, I'm fooling everybody. I got a Rolex GMT Master 2 Bruce Wayne. No. No, I don't. I know what I have. And if this thing does not perform as well, so for example, it drops a few seconds a day, more than a Rolex would... Excuse me. See, there's that burp I was talking about. If it happens, I'm not too worried about it. I'm like, it's a $200 watch. But sometimes I even get compliments on these things. They're just watches. I like, just like guns, I like cheap guns. I like mid-range guns. I like expensive guns. Just like when it comes to my watches, I got a few cheap watches I absolutely love. I have a Timex M78 diver's watch. I love it. I love that. It's like a, I don't know, $150 watch. This is a $250 watch. And this is a $6,000 watch. I love them all. Now, do I think this is as good as this? No. Do I have any illusions that I've somehow, fooled anybody? No. Do I expect this to work as good as this? No. But people in the gun world do. They think, all the reviews on this book, it's as good as an LMT. Trust me. Your Diamondback DB15 is not as good as an LMT, okay? Does it shoot the same caliber? Can you do the same stuff with it? Yeah. But trust me, when you buy an LMT, you get an LMT quality gun, okay? That's my thoughts on that. All right, now the next one, I'm going to use another watch analogy with these two watches. Okay, on the range report of the Knights Armament Company SR15 E3 Mod 2, Brother Good Reps, and I also get a picture of him, he says, complaining about the Cerakote inside the magwell, and for some reason he capitalizes all of that, is one of the lamest things I've ever heard. Now, in that video, I talked about how Knights Armament, in my personal opinion, is really cheap when it comes to their Cerakote finishers or whatever they finish their guns with, because they don't finish them properly. It's like they assemble the gun, then they just spray the outside. They got overspray everywhere. They don't get in the inside of the magwell. My opinion, it looks cheap. Now, if it was a $500 or $600 AR-15 that was finished that way, I would not care in the least. But that Knights Armament is like a $3,300 or $3,200 gun. When I pay $3,200 for a firearm, I don't care if it's a tool gun. I don't care if it's for the military or police. I expect a $3,200 gun. I expect it to be of that quality. And I don't think that you get that when it comes to that finish. And so let's go back to this watch right here, okay? Now, this is the Hesalite version, so this does not have a sapphire crystal. It's not glass. It actually is a almost like a polymer crystal. I forgot what Hesalite is. Oh, an acrylic is what it is. And the reason NASA wanted that is because it would not shatter in space, because you don't want like little glass particles in space flying around in case the crystal was damaged. They make two versions of this watch. They make this one, which has a solid case back, okay? And it just has some cool stuff like the certified by NASA in 1965 for manned space missions and so forth. They also make what's called the sapphire sandwich version of this, which has a sapphire crystal on the front. It has what's called an exhibition back on the rear, where you can see this beautiful movement. In fact, I think I'll probably show you what this movement looks like. I'll probably roll in a picture right now. And it's an absolutely gorgeous movement. It's really cool that when you're wearing this watch and you have that version, you can look at that movement. You can look at the mechanical beauty of this watch. Now, this watch, once again, is about $6,000, $6,500, somewhere in that range. I cannot see that backing. Now, I do know, because this watch has been opened up, because when I bought this from the watch dealer, the previous owner had put on that exhibition case on the back, which was not original. And I had them put on the original backing because I wanted it just like it would have come from Omega. And even though I can't see the mechanics of what's going on in this watch, I know there's something beautiful in here. I know the quality. Even if I can't see it, when you pay this type of money for a watch like this, I expect it to be there, whether or not I can see it. Because as the saying goes, integrity is what you're doing when no one else is watching. Well, I feel like gun companies should be held to the same standards when it comes to their builds. If you can't see what's going on in the gun, it doesn't give them an excuse to do shoddy work. And that's my personal opinion on that. All right, I know this video is running a little bit late or a little bit long, so let me hurry up here. I think I have just a couple more. Let's see here. I think I have one more, and it's on the Diamondback DB15 again. Sometimes you get what you pay for, just like what we were talking about here. The fire starter says, this guy went in so biased, and I can't believe his friend said that everyone I know that I have started off with Diamondback sweats by that rifle. I know people with military and police backgrounds who say it's extremely reliable, barely and malfunctions. Even my first rifle was Diamondback. I also have one that's 223 Wild with sharp rose lower that I built, and it has run about 2K rounds. No one is returning that rifle. Your chat had so many people saying the opposite of one friend. Can't see how this was anything other than you and your friend assaulting the brand. Okay, now, I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be mean because I am not the world's greatest writer, okay? I don't like writing. I was terrible in school at writing, documents. And I always joke and paraphrase what Donald Trump says. I've written more books than I've read, okay? I wrote a doctoral dissertation, okay? That's in the Library of Congress, okay? And I still get emails from time to time by people that are citing that dissertation for their own research, okay? Asking me stuff. And in case you're wondering, okay, to show you how boring it is, my doctoral dissertation, okay, and remember, I'm a musician, I'm a trombone player, is the creation of an Urtext edition of the Georg Wagenseil alto trombone concerto with consideration given to primary sources from the 17th century. Yeah, if you ever need to fall asleep at night, you can read my dissertation. But I wrote that. But I'm not trying to be arrogant, but if you can't write a decent sentence with basic punctuation, then I don't think that any other opinion you can express is valid. That is just my personal opinion on this, that if you want to belittle me and tell me that I'm an idiot or I'm biased or, whatever, the person that owned this, which, by the way, I think the person that linked it to the channel, he loved it, okay? But anyway, let's talk about this. Going into this is another thing where people, because they probably are personally invested in this rifle, that they feel like, I bought this, I saved up for this, which I understand. And you find somebody that doesn't like it, you want to lash out. How dare you say that I spent my money wrong? They don't want to believe it. But that is the case, and they feel like they have to lash out. But if you watch my channel and look at my reviews, you will find that there are guns that are very cheap. And I tell everybody my biases going into a review. Like when I review a Kel-Tec, I tell you, I think Kel-Tecs are pieces of junk and I've had them fall apart at the range in my hand while I'm shooting them. But I'll review this gun and let you know what happens. Now, recently I reviewed a Bursa Thunder 380 and I told you, I think these are not that good. And then lo and behold, I had a great time with that gun and gave it a very positive review. I have very expensive guns that I personally have had bad experiences with and give very low ratings, and very cheap guns that I've given great ratings to, and vice versa, and everything in between. But a lot of times people only get to see a snapshot of my channel because they're just looking at the gun or for reviews of guns they just bought, and they want to feel good about them. And it's kind of sad. I think it's really important that if you're going to if you're going to buy anything, go look at reviews, both negative and positive. In fact, if I ever am looking at a product, even if I'm looking at a watch, for example, I will go online and I will intentionally search for negative reviews. What are people saying negative about this and why? Same thing goes with a firearm. If I'm looking at a firearm, I want to go find negative reviews. Tell me what you don't like about this. Even if everyone else says it's positive, I got to find somebody that's saying something negative, because I want to know. No product is going to be perfect. But anyway, all these people got banned. And that's it. I think I got all the comments on that. And that's all the mean comments. So this whole video was comments. So there you go. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. And that obviously is going to be the word of the day. If you made it 38 minutes in, the word of the day is comment. So let me know what you think. And thank you for joining me. And I was enjoying making these videos. And yes, I am long-winded. And sometimes I keep talking and then I have to take a breath and finish the sentence. So there you go. Thanks for joining me here in the garage. Have a wonderful night, day, or morning, whenever you're watching. So, as always, thanks for watching.